Yeah, Coach. Obviously, Giannis had the huge night with 47 and, misfired on that last shot. But there was a stretch in the end of the third and early in the fourth where you guys, caught fire from three and really and gave you up a decent cushion. Maybe just speak to that stretch and what you saw in the last.
Well, overall, it was just a resilient effort. That's the deal. Like, you can get down on yourself when a team hits that many threes in the first half. I think they had 13 threes in the first half. And, you can just mail it in, you know what I mean? But when I came in at halftime, all I heard was, we're only down 12. We know we can play better. And then we had the third where we scored 39 points. And then to hold a team like that, we talked about it in the beginning of the game. They're high level in so many offensive categories, and they had 23 points in the fourth. And so the resiliency, the defense, so many guys stepping up, Book and Chris, down the stretch, but, Jae Crowder getting 14 rebounds and the defense on Giannis on that steal, that's the kind of stuff that, helps us get some experience and continuity. But I was proud of our guys tonight, the resiliency that they showed, to beat a team like that who was on fire. We couldn't seem to stop any of their guys from getting off threes. And then in the second half, we started playing our style of defense.
And just to follow up, what does a win like this do for you guys? You've had some nice wins all year, but Milwaukee was rolling, like you say, on fire in the first half. But to come out with the win, what does this win do for you guys?
Well, that team is playoff tested. So in those moments in the fourth quarter, you have to gain confidence after winning a game like that, to know that you can not only get stops, but knock down shots. I thought our spacing was a lot better in closing moments. And I just thought our guys fought, so I think it gives you a level of confidence to beat a team like that that's going to contend for a conference finals in the East. It has to give us a level of confidence. That's the only word I can come up with, that we can, win games like that.
Next is Kellen Olson with Arizona Sports, and then Cameron Cox.
Hey, Coach, you mentioned the big play for Jay there with the steal at the end. He also had that tip out to Book. It just felt like his fingerprints were all over this game in the second half. He's been in dozens of games like that, so I'm sure he was comfortable. What's it like for you as a coach to have a veteran who's been in those situations, doesn't need to score many points to have an impact like that?
Well, Jay's one of those guys that's dependable. You remind Jay of stuff because he pretty much already knows what we want, but he just kept making plays. If you look at his point totals, you'll be like, not that dramatic, but the rebounding, for him to come in and get 14 rebounds in 26 minutes, that's huge at his position. And I talked to him at halftime. I just said, look, I'm going to try to get you in early because Portis, his physicality was hurting us. And Jay ended up on Giannis. And so his ability to make plays, his first game back, didn't expect him to be as sharp as he was, but he just makes plays. He's a bit of a glue guy for us.
Next is Cameron Cox with 12 News, followed by Mark McClune.
Hey, Coach, congrats on the win. You mentioned the team's confidence and kind of what they told you at halftime. What's it like for you to see that come to fruition? That's a lot of the things you've talked about since day one when you got here. To get a win like this and to see the things that you've talked about kind of that come to be, what is that like for you?
Well, for me, it's just part of the process of trying to get to where we want to get to. I look at these wins and I'm grateful for every win, but I think it's a brick in the building that we're trying to build here. We want to be the last team standing someday, and it takes a lot of work. And so to beat a team like that is huge. To win in front of our fans is even sweeter. To have our people cheering for us, that gave us an edge tonight for sure. So for me, I have this long view, trying to enjoy it, but I'm still thinking about, the things that we can do to hold on to this and improve. But it is a bit of it's a big win for us. We just don't take wins like this for granted.
Next is Gina Mizell with Suns.com, and then Joe Pequena.
Hey, Monty, you mentioned getting back to playing your style of defense in the second half. Just what specifically did you adjust? Was it just communication? Like, just what led you guys to get back to playing that style?
Well, one, we had to get back in transition to stop Giannis. They only had 16 fast break points, if I'm correct. But then the urgency to get to their three-point shooters. There were times where they were setting a wide pin down for Bren to come off, and he was just knocking them down. And then Book just got into his chest in transition, and we were trying to take that shot out to make them at least make 2 or 3 passes. They were in one pass shot, and they were making the shots. So, that was what we talked about. We just have to have a heightened sense of awareness as to where their three-point shooters are. And a lot of our coverages were blown in the first half. There was one time where Middleton set a screen on Book and DA and let Giannis go down the middle and dunk the ball. We were just a step behind. In the second half, I thought we were much more aware of what was coming. And so we were able to get out to more threes. And then, Giannis had 47, but I don't think it was an easy 47. He had to work for it. He was efficient, though. He's 15 for 23, and he got to the line so many times. But I thought our guys battled against them tonight. There was no give-in at all.
Final 2 questions would be Joe Pequena with Fanatic Sports Radio and Kevin Zimmerman.
Coach, congratulations on the win. When you win a game like this, where you've had to battle back in so many different ways and you beat a potential championship team like the Bucks, what does this do for the focus and the mindset down the road of being able to know you can beat and play with anyone in this league and potentially, when it's all said and done, maybe be the last team standing?
Well, we're not going to get that happy on the farm. We have a ways to go before we can start talking like that. But it does give you confidence, especially in those moments, like when you're down or when a team is rolling, to just stay the course and be steady with what you do. And then when we get into the fourth quarter and we have to, go back and forth with the team, I think we're starting to build confidence that we can get stops. And there's a know-how and a physicality that only comes from, experience, knowing how to body a guy in the post, knowing how to, hold up a screen, understanding the bonus. I thought our guys did a really good job tonight of understanding we were in the bonus and getting to the free throw line. Then we were able to set our defense. So those types of experiences build confidence for a team that's, pretty new as far as all of the guys that we have brought into this program.
Hey, Coach, final question will be Kevin Zimmerman with Arizona Sports.
Hey, Monty, just curious what you thought of DA defending Giannis before he got in foul trouble. And then kind of a secondary question, do you guys talk about how wearing on him when he has 47 might pay off just those last 2 possessions?
Well, DA, he got in foul trouble, but I think the main thing for me was he didn't lose his head. And so we were able to put him back in at the end, and he was guarding Brook, but he had a level of awareness to rebound, but also get out to Brook. And then on that last play, we switched the matchup and put him on Giannis, just in case they wanted to throw it to Giannis in the post. And he gave a great contest. And so for all the stuff that's said about DA, like this kid he's got so much ability and he's using it. He's the anchor of our defense. We wouldn't have a top 5 defense or a top 10 defense without DA. So I forgot the last part of your question.
Oh, just if that wears on a guy when he has 47, but you make him work for it.
It's hard to say. When a guy's going like that, one thing I've noticed in my time, like when a guy has the ball that much, like other guys don't touch it, so they may not have a good feel for the ball. I don't know. But all I know is we made him work, and that's all you can do. And then when we needed to get stops against him, we got those stops.
Yeah, Chris, Coach was just talking about how that it had a playoff feel to it a little bit. Would you agree with that? And is this your assessment of tonight's game?
Yeah, that was a real good game for us. It was intense. nice to have the fans in there. Really nice to have the fans in there. I think that gave us a little extra boost. I know it did. So good that we could pull that out.
And just to follow up with Giannis and going for 47, but when a guy has it going like that, how much of it is just, hey, look, he's got it going tonight, but let's make him work and let's get ours back on the other end.
I mean, he was killing. I mean, it was layups and dunks and 20-something free throws. It ain't like it was like these threes got it going. You just keep trying to make it tough on him. I mean, that's what he does though. And his teammates was knocking down shots when they found him. So we're just trying to get the win.
Next is Kellen Olson with Arizona Sports, followed by Cameron Cox.
Hey, Chris, you've played in dozens of games like that over the course of your career, but this group is mostly just now getting a taste for it. What do you want the younger guys to take away from games like this where they play at a high level against a team like this?
The importance of execution, and I think that's the thing I'm probably most frustrated about is missing those shots down the stretch, but we finally starting to get what we want. I think that's important is making sure we at least get what we want down the stretch. And win these games. We can look back at it. I messed up DA on that one turnover. And, our defense was decent. He was just go, gadget arms at the rim every time.
Next is Cameron Cox with 12 News, followed by Brendan Clean.
Hey, Chris, Coach was talking about you guys, and this win can give you guys confidence. Do you see that? You've been around the league a long time. Do you see that confidence amongst the guys?
Yeah, it should, but the only way we'll be able to tell is our next game. We got to keep piling up wins. I say that all the time. Keep playing the right way and pile up wins in these games. Understand things that work for us. Understand things that we may see that teams try to do. So these situations are good for us, so we understand the importance of execution.
Final two questions would be Brendan Clean with Forbes and Dave King.
Hey, Chris, you had 10 in the fourth, and Book kind of closes it with getting to the line. Would you say you're liking the dynamic late in games between the two of you guys right now?
Yeah, it's always nice when we win, but it's tough for other teams, because you don't know what to take away. Most teams have, like one primary defender, right? So if you got one primary defender, who you gonna put them on? You gonna put them on me? You gonna put them on Book? And so I think we learning how to play well off each other.
Final question is Dave King with Bright Side of the Sun.
Hey, Chris. Yeah, they couldn't miss in the first half. They just seemed like they couldn't miss. They made 13 threes, and Giannis had got it whatever he wanted. What did you guys talk about in the locker room, being able to stay within 10 or 12 at halftime? What did you guys talk about?
Man, in transition, they were sort of just running a little pin in for Forbes and some of the other guys. And so we just wanted to stay a little bit closer to them. They're used to guys loading up on Giannis night in and night out, so they had counters to it. And so we figured it out a little bit, wanted to contest a few more of their shots, and got some stops.
Hey, Book, Chris had 10 in that fourth quarter. You got to the line to put you guys up late. Just how's that dynamic feeling between the two of you guys in these fourth quarters to kind of take the offense home?
Outside of missing a free throw, I think, we played well down the stretch. Obviously Milwaukee is not an easy matchup. And, early on in the season, I feel like we dropped a few games that, were this close down the stretch. So, we executed multiple times. I'd say the whole fourth quarter, even to start it out, coach drew up, a couple beautiful plays, get Cam Johnson the three, and one other one. So, that's been a point of emphasis for us is, obviously every minute of the game matters, but time to buckle down, especially in those last 5 minutes. And tonight we did a decent job of it.
Next is Dwayne Rankin with the Arizona Republic, and then Mark McClune.
Then I see you kicking yourself over that free throw, but what were you thinking when Giannis got that last look, that last look?
That we're in good shape.
Him that far away from the paint is obviously much better than him.
Yeah, exactly. anytime you can stay in front of them and force them to, take shots like that, you just have to live with it. You can't guard everything. And obviously he's a force in that paint area and gave us troubles the whole night. But, if you keep him out of there, and DeAndre did a good job of cutting him off and forcing him into that, and we'll live with the result.
Just a quick follow-up. You talked about this being a crucial stretch that felt like you guys had momentum and had to seize the moment. Is this one of those wins that you're talking about, seizing the moment where, building up wins and so you, like you say, doing your work early?
Yeah. Everyone that you can get in this league. And we figured that out early in the season. I feel like we had a few games that we felt were locked in and against teams that I feel like we should have beaten. The whole team feel that we should beat, and we let them back in and, gave them confidence, and they came out and closed. So, anytime you can get any win in this league, and through my 5 years of experience, I for sure know that, you need to take everyone that you can get.
Next is Mark McClune with Channel 3, Channel 5, followed by Cameron Cox.
And Devin, it was kind of a big day for the franchise, big day for you with the National Pub, the Michael Wilbon story that came out today, and to have a win like this. Do you see this as a statement win at all? And how do you balance just the excitement of everything you kind of worked for with also knowing, you got a couple good teams coming in here over the next couple of days as well?
Yeah, I wouldn't say a statement win. It's just, I feel like that's what we're capable of. We have Chris Paul in our locker room. We have Jae Crowder with finals experience last year. This isn't the same team that we've had in the past seasons. And no knock to the teams I've been on, but we have a lot more experience and guys that have been there and expect to win. So it's not, upset win against anybody we play against. Going into any game, we're worried about ourselves. And less focus on our opponent. If we know we can take care of what we need to do, that, put ourselves in good position to win.
All right, we have time for 3 more. Next will be Cameron Cox with 12 News, and then Gina Mizell.
Hey, Devin, congrats on the win. Kind of following up on that, does it just feel different? I mean, even a win like this, you've been around a long time. These games didn't always go your way in the past. Does it just feel different now?
Yeah, like I said, we have a whole different roster. We have winners in the locker room, from the coaching staff to the front office to the players. So, it's the culture that you want to be around. Obviously, we get excited about winning, but like I said earlier, this is what we expect. It's what the guys have been through their whole career, is winning basketball games. So, you try to talk to Chris Paul and ask him, how was the upset, or did you guys expect to win this game? And, I think I know his response already. He doesn't expect anything less.
Final 2 questions would be Gina Mizell with Suns.com and Kellen Olson.
Hey, Book, you mentioned Jay's finals experience, and Monty was very complimentary of his performance tonight, the 14 rebounds, playing defense on Giannis down the stretch. Just how much confidence does that give you as his teammate that, he was guarding Giannis in the playoffs last year, and just all of that, going into the fourth quarter?
Yeah, I think we always have a shot at it, and we have a good chance. We have some warriors in here, some guys that are ready to go to battle, and some dogs. We obviously respect everybody in this league to a high level, but that makes people want to go at them even more and get even more stops. So Jay was unbelievable tonight. Even that last possession, I know Giannis has a lot to deal with in that low post, and he pulled the chair, got a good steal for us, and sealed the game. So just that's what experience does for you.
Last question goes to Kellen Olson with Arizona Sports.
Hey, Book, to follow up on that, you had that foul where everyone watching thought it was a shooting foul. It wasn't. And then Jay kind of assembled you guys and just told you guys, like, let's keep playing. Let's continue. What's it like to have guys like him and Chris who have been through dozens of games like that and just know where to keep you guys at mentally?
Yeah, that's always that's always good. The constant communication throughout everybody, in the huddles, in the locker room, on the bench, in the timeouts, you know, it's always a ongoing conversation and constant communication amongst everybody. So I feel like keeps everybody engaged, keeps everybody learning, not making the same mistakes twice, and you know, having players, young players like me, DeAndre, Mikal, and Cam, you know, having those older guys, Jay and Chris, to help us along the way and, you know, show us how valuable every possession is, helps us out tremendously.
Yeah, Frank, just how big is this win tonight?
It's huge. It's one of the best teams in the league right there. I mean, we want to go out every single night and prove how good we are. You got to beat the best teams in the NBA to prove how good you are. And, you know, that game was a dogfight. So, you know, it's fun playing in games like that. That was a fun atmosphere, especially having the fans there. That was a big boost in certain parts of the game. You know, they came out firing. They were on fire in the first half. We locked in, played better in the second half, kind of turned into a foul fest in the third quarter. But that was really fun, and it was really big for us.
And just to follow up, there was a stretch late in the third, early in the fourth, where you guys hit 5 threes that ended up, you know, giving you guys a 6-point cushion there. Just maybe take us through that stretch. Is that one of those stretches that you felt like the crowd helped you guys?
Absolutely. You know, we kind of switched up our defense, started showing a little bit of zone, try to get them out of their rhythm. They were in a rhythm, no question about it. We had to try to do some different stuff to take them out of what they were doing. And, you know, when you have Giannis and he's coming downhill like that and getting to the free throw line that, you know, when he goes out of the game, you got to take advantage. So, you know, I attribute it to how we were playing defense there during that stretch. And we were just coming down and moving the ball, making them move side to side. Chris was calling out plays, you know, calling screens, you know, finding the right guys. And, you know, we just fortunate to knock down those shots. That definitely changed the game.
Next is Kellen Olson with Arizona Sports, and then Gina Mizell.
Hey, Frank, it feels like, especially since you moved in the lineup, the 0.5 aspects of the offense we saw thrive last season have really come together a lot. I know you've answered this question a lot, but just we saw it in that second half. The ball was really whizzing around. What's it do for you guys when not only the shots are going down, but the ball movement's there too?
I think when everybody's touching it and everyone's scoring like we were in the second half, that just opens it up more for Chris and Book like it did down the stretch. You know, we know they're going to make tough shots. They want the ball in their hands down the stretch, and they're going to make the right plays. You know, we were just moving the ball side to side, and when you're playing against a good defense like that, where they can protect the paint, protect the rim, and get out to shooters, you got to be able to move the ball side to side, figure out the cracks in their defense, try to get some easy buckets whenever you can, and then obviously we exploited them there that last stretch, hitting some threes, and then Book and Chris kind of did their thing down the stretch. So, you know, it was a great team win. You know, obviously we're going to have to look at the film and get better on defense. You know, giving up 124 points is tough, but we were resilient tonight and did everything we needed to do to win.
Next is Gina Mizell with Suns.com, and then Brendan Clean.
Hey, Frank, you mentioned how hot they came out shooting the ball. And Coach mentioned that in the locker room, though, you guys were very calm, just like, okay, we're only down 12. Let's make some adjustments. Just from your perspective, what was it like in the locker room at halftime that sort of allowed you to regroup and come out the way you did in the second half?
Well, we didn't even have to say it. We knew what it was. You know, Giannis was playing so downhill that we were losing shooters in transition, and felt like Bryn made everything in the first half. He came out on fire, and that was tough. I mean, when you got a guy like that shooting the ball like that in the first half, and then you have someone like Giannis who can just get downhill and get to the rim, it's tough. But, you know, we knew what we needed to do at halftime, and we went out there and executed. You know, this group, it says a lot about this group. We know we can't get it back in one play. We got to chip away at leads, you know, especially when we go down like that, and that's what we did tonight. We changed up our defense. We played a couple different defenses, and we just kept the ball moving and playing our style of basketball, and it worked out for us.
Final two questions would be Brendan Clean with Forbes, and then Dave King.
Hey, Frank, you tied a career high in assists. You guys were moving the ball like Kellen asked about, but at the same time, the other thing we've seen from you guys is keeping the turnovers down. So you're moving the ball, but, you know, not making mistakes. What would you attribute that part of it to not losing the ball even when you are moving it?
Well, earlier in the season, turnovers were kind of biting us in the butt. We had some untimely turnovers, figuring out how to play with each other. And I think we're just settling in now. We know what our offense, we know what we're going out there trying to do. Especially with me, I know who I'm playing with, what they like to do, what their tendencies are. I feel like I'm getting better and better and being in the right spots so I can either, move it to someone, shoot, score, do whatever. So, we got a lot of versatile people on our team that do a lot of different stuff. So, just moving the ball and having someone like Chris that sees the game the way he does and having a scorer like Book, having an inside presence like DA, it opens up the whole game for everyone else.
Final question is Dave King with Bright Side of the Sun.
Frank, this is the second time in a week or just over a week that you've been this close to a triple-double. Are you thinking about that at all during the game? I know you're just focused on winning the game, but I mean, how close have you come to triple-doubles in the past?
I think this is the first stretch. Definitely that Golden State game, I was trying to get it at the end of the game, kind of when we put it away. Tonight, I wasn't really thinking about it. I just wanted to keep making the right play. Keep doing the right thing. Obviously, in the first half, we got some easy buckets on some backdoor cuts and swing passes and hitting the next guy. And that's the things we have to do. I know for me, I'm not out there to shoot the ball every single time I touch it. I got to keep the ball moving, especially when I'm at that 5 spot in our offense, moving the ball side to side, getting people in the right spots, hitting cutters when they're open. Just play basketball. That's all I'm trying to do is just play basketball. And you can't always dictate people making shots, missing shots, but you can keep making the right plays. And when you keep making the right plays over the course of the game, I truly believe that'll benefit us in the long run.
Well, first, Jay, how's the foot? How's the foot feel?
I think we're muted.
There we go.
The foot held up good tonight. You saw I took a fall there late in the fourth.
Right.
Lopez fell on my knee, so now I'm a little swollen in my knee, but I'll be fine. I got 2 days in between, but the foot did hold up pretty well tonight.
Okay. And just to follow up on that, looked like you pulled the chair on Giannis and you guarded him so many times. Just maybe if that is what you actually did, when do you do that? Like, do you say, okay, at this point, or did that just happen?
Well, I actually felt like he was getting aggressive with me on the post-up because I had fouled him earlier and I had got him off the block a little bit. So he was just fighting for position, and I know he wants to catch it as deep as possible on me because I'm able to hold him up if I get him to catch the ball out. So just knowing him, he knowing me, we had a whole playoff series against one another. So we know each other very well. And I just felt like I felt most of his weight leaning backwards, and I just decided to just swim move and try to get in front of him, and I was able to time it up with the pass. So luckily, I got the steal.
And just really quick, you guys won the board battle 47-39, and you had 14, which basically means that you were the difference on the glass. Maybe speak to that on how important you felt like that was, getting rebounds tonight.
Well, I think I was just trying to limit those guys to one possession as much as possible. They were shooting the ball so well in the first half, and we just didn't want to give them any second chance points. And obviously they have a big lineup out there, so you got to do your work and box them out. But I just wanted to limit those guys to one possession. That was my whole mindset, and I was just able to try to come in and clean up the glass a little bit and help clean up the glass. So just kudos to their offense is so good and powerful. You just want them to have one shot at the rim. So that was my mindset going into it.
Next is Kellen Olson with Arizona Sports, and then Mark McClune.
Hey, Jay, in the mid-fourth quarter, Devin drew a foul, and everyone thought it was a shooting foul. It wasn't, and then there was a conversation with the refs. You quickly got the team together and just told everyone, let's play, let's relax. What's it mean for you in those games you've seen dozens of times and these other young guys that they're still getting used to moments like that? What's it mean for you as the veteran to kind of get guys in the right mindset that can ultimately lead to a win like this?
Yeah, I just want to do my part. I felt like they were trying to get, the referees were trying to get to the next play, and they didn't want to hear anything we had to say about it. And I just felt like just for our mindset and the time of score of the game, it was winning time, and it was time to just move on to the next play. It was our ball. It was not a turnover. We're okay. And I just felt like just to get us to the next play a little bit, and that's what I was vocalizing to the guys. Just next play mentality. I think that helps you, especially with trying to close games against a great team like Milwaukee Bucks. So I have been in those moments before, and that's how you get through it. You just try to move on to the next play. Don't let it fluster you too much, and you see it came out in our favor, and we got the win tonight.
Next is Mark McClune with Channel 3, Channel 5, followed by Gina Mizell.
Hey, Jay, congrats on the win. There hasn't been a win like this for the Suns around here in a while. We asked Devin about if this is a statement win, and he said no, because that's the expectation in the locker room. How do you feel like you and Chris have set those expectations here so quickly?
I mean, I said it from the first time I signed the paper to come here. I just want to change. I want change. I don't want to get looked at the same as the Phoenix Suns have been looked at in the league, and I feel like we have good enough talent. We just got to put it together, and I knew it was a working process, but our mentality, our mindset is well above a regular season game. We're trying to get better. We're trying to put ourselves in position to fight for it all. And I just think we're doing a good job right now, taking it one game at a time. Every game is big to us, not just this game or just because it's a national televised game. Every game is important to us to get better and to try to get to reach our main goal. And I feel like me and Chris is doing a good job of just trying to stay even keel. Good win, but we got a lot of work to do. We have two good teams coming in the next few days, and we had a tough back-to-back. So we're going to enjoy it tonight, but tomorrow is behind us, and we're going to look forward to the next game. We're doing a good job of just as a group taking it one game at a time. And like I said, every game we step on the floor is big for us because we've got a chance to gel and get better.
Final question would be Gina Mizell with Suns.com.
Hey, Jay, when they were so on fire in the first half, Monty mentioned that it would be easy to just say, hey, it's not our night and kind of move on. But just how do you have the mental fortitude, or how do you work through that kind of resiliency to say, hey, get it together, tighten up on defense? Just how do you work through that mentally?
I feel like when we came in at halftime, we had the right mindset. We were down 12. We felt like we were still in the game. We felt like there was a lot of game left. And they did make a lot of tough shots. We had a few adjustments to make. We felt like that. We talked about it. But we knew we had to pick up our play on the defensive end and try to make those shots a little tougher. Offensively, we had 60-something points at half, so we was fine with the way we was getting shots and scoring. We just wanted to limit those guys a little bit and try to get back in the game. So we had a good mindset at halftime, and then just rolled over into the second half, and we was able to come out with the win and come out with some gutsy stops there late. But our mindset was definitely where it needs to be to get a win against a tough team like Milwaukee. So kudos to our guys, each guy in the locker room staying the course and believing in one another.